Hello everyone, welcome back to Arun Commerce and Management Academy. This video is for BCom second year, 4th sem, and the subject is income tax. In this video, we will see the most important questions, that is essay and short questions. These important questions will help you to get maximum marks in SEM exam. So before going to start the video, if you are new to our channel, please subscribe and click on the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video. The complete subject depends upon the provisions of 1961 Income Tax Act. The student has to remember all the provisions. So write the exam logically according to the provisions and remember all the provisions while writing the exam. So now we will see the long questions from Unit 1. Question number 1. Explain the differences between direct and indirect taxes. So here you need to explain the differences between direct and indirect taxes in detail. Then question number 2. Explain exempted incomes from tax under section 10 of Income Tax Act 1961. So here you need to present the exempted incomes from tax and you need to present in detail. Then question number 3. Explain about the income tax rules to determine the residential status of an individual. So section 6 of the Income Tax Act 1961 has given the conditions regarding the residential status of an individual. So you need to highlight all these things, like what are the basic conditions and what are the additional conditions. Then you need to explain them in detail. Then question number 4. What are the conditions to be satisfied to treat any income as an agriculture? So here you need to explain all the conditions to be satisfied to treat any income as an agriculture income. Then question number 5. Discuss the incomes which are neither included in total income nor income tax is payable. Then question number 6. Define and discuss the basic concepts of income tax. So section 2 of the Income Tax Act 1961 explain the important concepts like assessment year, previous year, person, income tax, etc. So you need to write all those basic concepts in detail. Then question number 7. What do you mean by canons of taxation? So the canons are nothing but the guiding principles which are to be followed by the government while setting the policies of taxation and levying the taxes on the people are called canons of taxation. The principles like canon of equity, canon of certainty, canon of economy, and canon of convenience. So you need to write all those canons in detail. Coming to short questions, these are the important short questions. We can expect any two short questions from this, like define person, then canon of equality, gross total income and total income, then previous year and its exceptions, then incidence of tax, PAN, then person versus assessee, then partly agricultural income. So these are the most important short questions. Coming to unit 2, that is income from salary. So in this chapter compulsory we can expect one theory question and one problem on computation of income from salary. You need to learn problem compulsory in this unit. So the theory questions from this unit are explain the term perquisites and list out any 10 perquisites which are fully tax free. So according to Income Tax Act, the term perquisites refer to any form of benefit paid either in cash or in kind by the employer to the employee or his or her family members. So here you need to explain fully tax-free perquisites. And question number 2, briefly explain different types of allowances that are part of income from salary. So allowance refers to any fixed monetary benefits provided by the employer to his or her employee for the purpose of meeting specific expenditures in the form of house rent allowance, entertainment allowance, children education allowance, and so on. Then question number 3, state the deductions that are allowed from salary income under section 16. So while computing the income from salary, 3 deductions are allowed, like standard deduction under section 16(1), then entertainment allowance under section 16 subsection 2, then professional tax or employment tax under section 16 subsection 3. So these are the deductions Then question number 4, what do you mean by salary income? State the components of salary income. Salary income is a remuneration received by an employee from his or her employer for rendering services during the employment. So when it comes to components of salary, like salary, allowances, perquisites, profits in lieu of salary. So these are the components of salary. So the theory, these theory questions you need to go through thoroughly and get thorough knowledge on the basic concepts and provisions, so that you will be able to do the problems also. So now we will see the problems. So problems on computation of income from salary. So you can practice illustrations and some problems like problem number 1 to 9 from Sri Hamsrala publications, written by Premraj. So these are the most important long questions. Coming to short questions, these are the most important short questions from unit 2, that is income from salary. So we may expect some questions from these questions, like define perquisite, deductions under section 16, profits in lieu of salary, and define allowances. And here we may expect one problem also in short, like problems may be on entertainment allowance, HRA, gratuity, pension, etc. So here you need to practice some short problems for party also. So these are the important questions, both long as well as short, from unit 2. Unit 3, income from house property. So coming to unit 3, compulsory we can expect problem from this unit. You have to be thorough with all the situations based on the situations of let out house or self-occupied house. So concentrate more on problems from this unit. So you can practice problems. And when it comes to theory, so these are the some important theory questions, like discuss deductions from annual value for self-occupied and let out house, or standard deduction section 24A and standard deduction 24B. So standard deduction 24A is compulsory deduction to every assessee who is having income from let out. The deduction is given at a flat rate of 30% on NAV. Then section 24B is all about interest on home loan. Then question number 2, explain the provisions relating to deemed owner, co-owner, unrealized rent, standard deduction. So here some individuals, though not owners in legal sense, but are subjected to tax on deemed owner, like person transferring property to spouse without consideration, then transferring property to minor, or karta in HUF, or member of housing cooperative society, then long-term leaseholder. Then when it comes to co-owner, a person who signed a joint agreement for purchasing any property and their names mentioned in the agreement papers clearly. Then unrealized rent. So if the owner of the house cannot get rent from the tenant, that rent is considered as unrealized rent. Then coming to standard deduction, it is calculated 30% on NAV. This deduction is not allowed if GAV is nil. Question number 3, what is income from house property? Under which conditions it is treated as income from house property? State the exempted house property incomes. So section 22 to 27 explains the various provisions of house property. Rent received by the house owner will be considered as income from the house property. And here explain the exempted house property incomes, like the house is used for agriculture purpose, or income from house property of scientific research association, etc. So these are the exempted house property incomes. So you need to present all those things in detail. So these are the theory questions. And when it comes to problems from this chapter, so computation of income from house property. So here you need to practice the problems like question number 1 to 10 and question number 18 to 23 from Sri Hamsrala publications textbook, written by Premraj. So practice all the problems thoroughly and work out on more working notes, so that you become thorough while doing the problems. And now we'll see the short questions. Coming to short questions, we may expect these are from these questions like gross annual value, NAV, FRV, and MRV. So get thorough knowledge on these terms like gross annual value, net annual value, fair rental value, uh, MRV, then unrealized rent, deemed owner and co-owner. And here we may expect one short problem also, like problems on GAV, like that. So practice some short problems also. So we may expect one problem and some theory questions in part A. So these are some of the most important long questions as well as short questions from unit 3. Unit 4, profits and gains of business or profession. So coming to unit 4, you can expect compulsory a problem from income from business or income from profession. Okay. So be thorough with income from profession and income from business. Either they may ask any one problem or any one theory question. So these are the important theory questions from unit 4, like explain various points that are to be considered to calculate depreciation. It is very important question. Then question number 2, what do you mean by income from profession? What are the rules or procedures should be followed for calculating income from profession? Then question number 3, distinguish between capital receipts and revenue receipts. So here you need to explain all the differences between capital receipts and revenue receipts. Then question number 4, explain the procedure and format for computation of income from business. So here you need to explain the format of computation of income from business. Then question number 5, what do you understand by capital expenditure and revenue expenditure? So you need to explain the meaning of capital expenditure and revenue expenditure in detail. And when it comes to problems, so here computation on profits and gains of business or profession. So here you can practice the illustration problems from Sri Amsrala Publications textbook. And when it comes to problems, you need to go through question number 1 to 18 and practice all the problems thoroughly. Coming to short questions, here we may expect any questions from these in the exam, like what is business, what is profession, block of assets, then the types of capital assets, unobserved depreciation. And here we may expect one problem also on depreciation. So please practice problems on depreciation in short questions. Unit 5, capital gains and income from other sources. Coming to unit 5, you can expect compulsory problems from capital gains, and there are many concepts in capital gains and income from other sources. So go through all the concepts. They might be helpful for you in doing the problems and writing the theory questions also. So these are the important theory questions, like what is cost of acquisition, and under the head capital gain, state different rules to determine the cost of acquisition. Then question number 2, explain about the exemptions in respect of certain capital gains under section 54. So here you need to explain the exemptions respect to section 54. Then question number 3, explain the different kinds of incomes chargeable to tax under the head income from other sources. So here you need to explain different kinds of incomes which are chargeable to tax under head of income from other sources. Then question number 4, explain the term interest on securities, discuss the chargeability of income under interest on securities and different types of securities. Then question number 5, explain briefly about various deductions under section 57. Coming to problems, here you can practice problems from question number 1 to 14. They are very important problems from question number 1 to 14. So please practice all the first 14 questions thoroughly. Then question number 28 to 39 also you need to practice thoroughly from Hamsrala textbook written by Premraj. And coming to short questions, we may expect any questions from these in part A, like types of capital assets, cost of acquisition and cost of improvement, provisions regarding gift received by an individual, and casual income, tax-free securities, then bond washing transactions, etc. So these are the most important short questions. So these are the most important questions of income tax subject. I hope so this content will be helpful for your income tax exam preparation. Don't forget to like and share this video to your friends who are preparing for income tax exam. If you want me to make any video regarding income tax, so please comment so that I can fulfill your wish. So all the best. Thank you.